It's late at night. Your teen is in their room, earbuds in, staring at the ceiling. You knock gently, step in, and ask how their day went. Fine, they say, without looking up. But you notice the signs: their eyes are tired, their smile feels forced, and there's a heaviness in the air. As a parent, your instinct is to help, but when you try to ask more, they shut down. You feel that wall between you, and it hurts. Anxiety in teens often hides in plain sight. They might look fine to the outside world, but inside, it can feel like they're carrying a storm they can't describe. Today, we are going to talk about how to reach past that wall, how to speak to your teen about anxiety in a way that feels safe, supportive, and real. Understanding the teenage brain. The first thing to know is that your teen's brain works differently than yours. The part of the brain that manages decision-making and emotional regulation, the prefrontal cortex, is still developing well into their mid-20s. Meanwhile, the emotional center, the amygdala, is fully online and hyperactive. That means emotional reactions hit harder, last longer, and can feel overwhelming, even if the trigger seems small to you. This isn't overreacting or being dramatic, it's biology. When you understand that anxiety can be amplified by the way their brain is wired right now, you can approach conversations with empathy instead of frustration. Why teens hide anxiety? Many teens keep their anxiety a secret. Some don't want to worry you. Others are afraid of being judged, misunderstood, or told they're overthinking. And sometimes, they simply don't have the language to explain what's going on inside. To them, anxiety can feel like a knot in their chest they can't untangle. Talking about it can feel vulnerable, even risky, especially when fitting in and seeming normal is so important at this stage of life. Finding the right moment. When you want to open the conversation, timing matters. A formal, "we need to talk," it can feel like an interrogation. Instead, choose low-pressure moments, while cooking together, driving to school, or going for a walk. These casual settings make it easier for them to talk without feeling trapped. Use gentle observations rather than assumptions. "VE noticed you, VE seemed quieter lately," works better than "you always in your room, what's wrong?" Your goal isn't to force the door open, it's to knock gently, over and over, until they feel safe enough to open it themselves. Listening without fixing. When your teen does open up, your first job is to listen, not to lecture, correct, or immediately solve the problem. Even with the best intentions, jumping straight to solutions can make them feel unheard. Instead, validate what they are feeling. "That sounds exhausting," or "I can see why that would make you anxious." This doesn't mean you agree with every fear, it means you acknowledge their feelings are real to them. That validation is often the bridge that leads to trust. Supporting without taking over. Once they feel heard, you can gently explore solutions together. Ask, "Would you like to talk about some things that might help?" Offer options like journaling, breathing exercises, mindfulness apps, or professional counseling. Let them choose what feels right. The more control they have, the more likely they are to engage. Anxiety already makes life feel out of control, so giving them a say in their own care is powerful. Knowing when to get help. Sometimes, anxiety becomes more than just a passing struggle. If it starts to impact school performance, friendships, or daily life, it's time to seek professional help. Present therapy as a strength, not a weakness, just like we'd see a doctor for a sprained ankle. We can see someone who's trained to help with how we feel. Framing it this way removes shame and makes it a normal part of self-care. Consistency builds trust. The most important thing to remember is that talking about anxiety isn't a one-time conversation, it's a continuous process. Even if your teen doesn't open up right away, your consistent presence tells them, "I'm here for you when you're ready." Over time, these small, everyday check-ins create the foundation for deeper conversations when they need them most. Closing thought. Your teen doesn't need you to have all the answers. They don't need you to be perfect. What they need is your patience, your attention, and your willingness to sit with them in their discomfort without judgment. When you create that safe space, you're not just talking about anxiety, you're teaching them that no matter how heavy the storm feels, they never have to face it alone.